Ludwig just got freaking destroyed. It's a video by More Pegasus. It's been a while since we checked in on the NPC soy streamers. I don't relate to these people. See what's going on in the trenches.
Back to a series so authentic, even Mr. Beast could not turn it into AI. In today's video, Hasan is now implying that he's going to secretly donate money to Denims, Casey, and Froggen to fund their legal defense. Legal YouTubers like Legal Mindset have offered their insights into the lawsuits, and it's looking very bad.
I mean, already, bro. If I didn't have these soy blockers on, I would have gotten flashbanged and overdosed on cringe. We have a bunch of 30-year-old plus streamers, okay, who are getting sued for lazily reacting to content. That could never be me.
For the Hasan orbiters, local jellyfish Ludwig has just been exposed.
He calls him a jellyfish because he doesn't have a spine. All I saw on X was that there's this guy Mango, a Super Smash player, who started humping girls while he was lost in the soy sauce. He was tipsy at a party.
And is getting a lot of backlash. Subscribe to witness the downfall of every single Hasan Glazer. Absolute cinema.
It just couldn't be me.
And let's start with this tweet. Hasan says if he offers financial support to Denims, Froggen, Casey, and Sean, you will never hear about it.
I feel like if I don't give any attention to this with my platform, it's like, then I feel like I'm leaving these people defenseless. He has also admitted multiple times he wants to hurt you financially through them as if you were their legal guardian. No, I know. That's why he keeps saying like, oh, socialist, why won't he give?
As a party owner, you settle down rowdy guests. Holy shit, I'm getting bunker busted. Holy buckets. He pulled a Rampage Jackson. I don't know what that means.
These guys money. Trust me, if I offer support, you won't know about it. Okay? Beyond what I've
Okay, dude.
done thus far. You will never hear about it.
Okay, so a couple things here. Basically, everybody was hounding Hasan for not using his mega million socialist grifting money to help out his friends. So Hasan came up with this genius.
That's my favorite millionaire, son of a billionaire, socialist with a Porsche Taycan.
Strategy of saying, hey guys, I'm not actually going to donate publicly, but privately I will be helping them. So what that actually does is that it automatically gets all the people from his fan base to stop hounding him anymore, because they are going to think, okay, Hasan is probably helping them behind the scenes. So they're going to stop telling him to cough up his millions. So let's just consider all the scenarios here. So scenario one, he actually does privately help them. Suppose he anonymously donates to the GoFundMe. Obviously, we will see that instantly, because if it's any significant amount, he will be caught immediately. Or option two, he donates behind the scenes, so it's not actually visible publicly at all. He just does like a bank transfer or something. Or in Froggen's case, a Big Mac
I'm gonna die of cirrhosis of the liver.
transfer. In which case, Froggen, Denims, and Casey will kind of...
This dude literally makes a video about Hasan every day. It's how you farm content.
Be scamming and misleading their fans, because then the fans will think, okay, the fund only has 25k, that means I gotta donate more to fund their legal defense. But actually, Hasan is donating 100k behind the scenes, and that money actually goes into their pockets.
Imagine glazing men.
So obviously that's not allowed, and that is extremely scummy. Now, Ethan responded, because Snark and the two disgraced journalists are unwilling to swallow...
Does this guy seriously have a fan base just because he's a discount pretty boy? No, it's because our society is full of slugs who are mentally ill.
Follow their pride. It looks like the lawsuit against Sean will be moving forward. So quick context here, Ethan basically offered to withdraw the lawsuit if Taylor and some other people apologize to him. So in an act of unimaginable grace, I am prepared to make one final offer. If Hasan donates $25,000 to each of their GoFundMes, I will tear up the Sean DeBlack complaint that I've already spent several thousands writing. Furthermore, Hasan, any behind the scenes donations will be found during discovery. So pretending like you are helping them behind the scenes works now, but everything will be overturned to us in due time. Right, so Ethan is basically saying in the discovery...
Now this is a couple days old. I'm pretty sure he's not actually suing the fourth party, Sean DeBlack.
Legal process, everything will be revealed. But honestly, I'm not a fan of this move because $25,000...
That's right. Everyone is an idiot but me.
To Hasan is absolutely nothing. If I had to guess, he easily makes over 100K a month. So personally, I think this offer is just not good at all.
Holy buckets, dude! I mean, we can't stop winning over on kick.com/Philion.
Because Hasan will immediately oblige. He probably won't because he just wants to spite H3 and is really stupid. But if he's actually smart, he will actually just follow through with this. Unless, of course, Ethan is just trolling them and kind of making everybody dance to his tune. But anyways, let's move on to YouTuber and...
This guy pisses me off. I don't even know why. I think I actually have a clue. I'm an old school YouTuber. That's right. I was born in these algorithms, molded by them. Hodge twins. Yo, Elliot. Rich Piana. I come from a different era. A forgotten time. Now! Every soy boy sets up a camera and thinks they have the sauce. This guy's a lawyer. What are you doing on YouTube? Legal mindset? Don't you have court, buddy, pal? Don't you have some cases to cover?
and lawyer legal mindset talking about the situation. Basically, if you didn't know, most law tubers that are covering this situation are saying that Ethan...
I'm cut from a different cloth. I'm a different breed to most. They don't make like men like me anymore. That's right.
...has a higher chance of winning this case.
Like, where's your clients? Big Cheese with the 5 says Ilya Topuria is better than John Jones. That's crazy.
Now, obviously, it is never 100%, but Ethan is most likely to win based on the copyright law. So it turns out Hasan has been going around calling all of the lawyers covering this biased and pro-Ethan, which is obviously ridiculous. They are just stating the facts. So let's start with this part where Legal Mindset talks about Hasan calling Ethan a vexatious litigant.
Hasan Piker is crying bias.
Just kidding. I actually like this guy now. Turns out I love Legal Mindset. This guy's got the best channel on YouTube.
In the Ethan Klein lawsuit, both in
I'd hire him any day.
the system at large and from law tubers like myself. It's always very interesting when people decide to comment deeply on stuff.
You think he makes more money being a law tuber or in the court of law? Nobody talks about this.
That they really have no idea what's going on.
He does technically have virtually unlimited funds. You can be a vexatious litigant.
Let's stop there. So pseudo-intellectuals like Hasan like to use big words that they don't understand.
Holy buckets, he's cooking him.
The word vexatious litigant does not just mean someone who...
Getting bunker bustered again, dude. You need to start covering UFC, dude. We'd watch. Might have to.
files a lot of lawsuits. That is, it's not just that. A vexatious litigant is someone who files lawsuits with no merit, meaning they're going to get immediately dismissed, meaning these are lawsuits with no legal basis. And what you never hear from Hasan is you never hear him talking anything at all about the legal basis. Not an emotional argument, not a claim of bias, not any other claim. You have to tell me, Hasan Piker, why legally they will win. Your orbiters will win. And Ethan Klein.
This guy just said the word orbiters. He may be more locked in than I previously thought.
Klein will lose.
I'm sorry, are you expecting Hasan Piker to argue the facts?
Imagine going to law school to be a YouTube lawyer. I know about like 6 lawyers in my personal life because it's just one of the career paths that people take in New York. It's like finance, lawyer, or rogue entrepreneur, 500 IQ, self-made, Giga Chad, with a 300-pound bench, 425 squat, 525-pound bench press. So like, there's only like 3 options. And I can't picture it.
That might be the most offensive thing you've ever said to him. Hamas Piker does not operate on facts. He simply operates on propaganda and emotional outbursts. He refuses to look at any situation objectively and will basically try to gaslight and manipulate his audience into thinking that he is always in the right. But obviously, that kind of shit doesn't work on a judge. It only works on the internet where everybody can be misled, where you have these politically charged extremists
Phil walking up in the courtroom like Mundo, that's right. Always on the phone.
Who are willing to let anything slide as long as you're on the same side of politics. The fact is, eventually, these people are going to have to face the facts in court. And in this particular case involving copyright, turns out your little minions, or large minions, are pretty much screwed. Also, I just love how even Legal Mindset is calling them Hasan's orbiters.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't know what videos he's been watching. I don't know if
He's probably watching all of Pegasus's videos.
had anything to do with that. I'm not gonna take credit for that, but that's incredible, bro. We are making sure every single person uses the correct.
I still can't believe this video went on the internet. Like, to make a video like this, right, it takes months of research, maybe in their case weeks, because they're not thorough. Various pass-throughs and post-production. And then you sit there and you're like, yeah, I think I'm gonna post this. Grown-ass people doing the Fortnite L dance, talking shit about another man. Yeah, people ask me, Phil, why you changed up? First of all, I evolved. Second of all, in some twisted reality, you probably want me to be on the other side of that camera. You want me to be 30 years old, unk status, making video essays? Is that what you want from me? Holy buckets.
Correct terminology when describing Hasan and friends. Now, if anybody's watching,
You think I have anything in common
correct terminology when describing Hasan
with these people? Please tell me.
and friends. Now, if anybody's watching this, the next step after orbiters, you gotta call them orbiting moons. Feel free to use the animation from my video. Shout out to my editor. Now, this next part, he corrects Hasan's language and says that Ethan is not guaranteed a win, which shows that he's obviously not biased and purely talking from a legal standpoint.
Otherwise, it is a meritorious claim. That's a big word you can use now, meritorious, Hasan. Now, that does not mean Ethan Klein will ultimately prevail. Ethan Klein may very well lose this case. I think, in all fairness, the odds are on Ethan here, but they're never 100%. There's always a chance that your orbiters can.
Phil would look exactly like Hasan if he had short hair. That's a permanent ban, by the way. Yep, nice knowing you. Peace out.
Prevail, whether individually in individual cases or separately. Maybe one of them prevails and the others don't, or maybe all of them prevail.
There's really nothing you can do about it other than
So hold on. Hasan himself has just admitted that his orbiters are going to lose. So he's
Grown-ass man talking about Hasan orbiters. I love it. I'm not even mad at it.
actually admitting, he's saying that's the way copyright works. So he's conceding that legally they're screwed, which means, once again, Hasan is saying it's a meritorious claim. It's not vexatious, Hasan. As I've said before, I could care less about Ethan Klein and I could care less about the orbiters. I care
So based. He's my new favorite YouTuber. Sorry, LawTuber.
about the law.
Hello, Hamas Diddy Piker here. I'm going to need you to censor that word. It's actually a slur. Don't say the word law. Law in front of me. I should be allowed to provide material support for terrorists, actually. I should be able to burn cars and loot stores and constantly slander people, okay? Please don't use the L word around me. But man, Hasan using words that he has no idea about and completely misusing terminology is not surprising at all. The absolute pseudo-intellectual here trying to act smart in front of his audience.
See, at least I know I'm a retard.
Political extremist, but actually just ends up embarrassing himself every single time. And when someone actually educated in the field of law exposes him, he has nothing to say except calling them biased or pro-Ethan.
legal YouTubers and free speech people are extra quiet. No, I think there's some legal YouTubers.
Wait, dude, it's like a reaction video of a reaction video of a reaction video, dude.
Who have covered it, but they're like pro Ethan. Yeah.
No, they're just telling you the fucking facts of the case.
You act like a retard for fun, but you're actually smart. Oh no, he's on to me. See, true geniuses know when to play retarded.
What are you saying?
I can't say that word, it's 2025.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. They're compromised, dude. They're pro Ethan.
You know, we are just commenting on the facts. We're commenting on the law, right? If you want to say the law is pro Ethan, all that says, that means his side has more legal basis. And if anyone wants to bring up legal points, I'll be happy to analyze those and look at those, and I'll be happy to give them a fair, objective consideration. However, emotional arguments, claims of bias, claims that we don't know enough about Israel and Palestine, that has nothing to do with this lawsuit. This lawsuit has nothing to do with any political element. It has to do with copyright.
Dude, I can't believe this guy has the audacity to talk about the law when there's a genocide going on.
That's right. We need to be talking about sand politics. You know, Iran kind of ruined the whole Israel-Palestine thing. Everyone was talking about Gaza. I haven't heard that word in 4 months.
Cancel legal mindset, guys. He's stating the facts. I'm allergic to the facts. Please don't show this clip to Hasan. He's gonna plop a blood vessel. Also, saying the law is pro-Ethan is crazy, by the way. But you know, I kind of feel bad for legal mindset now, because you just know that now that he's stepped into this situation, Hasan and his orbiting moons are gonna find a way to bring him up and harass him. Heaven forbid you just state the facts objectively. Hasan is now gonna call you a mom-murdering pedophile rapist school shooter. By the way, the funniest thing is I didn't even make any of that up. He has literally called people all those things. If you've seen the rest of the series, you know how crazy
Okay, dude. Okay, dude.
he is. And yeah, you're gonna get a lot of criticism, but that is just...
I don't even know if that's me imitating XQC or Hasan, but it's just the default Twitch streamer deflection. Okay, dude.
side effect of being someone who criticizes their cult. Then after this, he addresses the most ridiculous allegations that Ethan Klein's lawsuit is somehow sexist.
I jumped into this one with Caseytron.
Only suing women, based.
And Caseytron, as we're all aware, just can't shut up. And one thing that you need to do when you're facing any sort of legal trouble is shut up, shut up, shut up. But she is running her mouth. This isn't about copyright. This is about evoking incel support.
Incels rise up.
First of all, my first argument against this is the law itself is objective. This is not a law that involves mental state or individual. It focuses on whether or not you copied work. That doesn't care about your sex, race, national origin, or sexual orientation.
Intersectionality. Yeah, nobody cares about that.
It is neutral as to those things. A case that is brought against a woman is exactly the same as a man.
Well, congratulations, legal mindset. You are now officially an incel. Any man that criticizes Caseytron is automatically an incel. In fact, if you're a woman, you're also an incel. I don't make the rules, Caseytron does. Also, I love how he essentially just told her to shut up. Nah, bro. I mean, she literally admitted she doesn't have a lawyer. So, I mean, this is basically legal advice. This is like the nicest legal advice. He's literally doing you a favor. You should be paying him. Your attorney here is advising you.
Yeah, nobody wants to smoke with us because we actually have an incel army. That's right.
To shut the fuck up. This line, though, law is completely neutral based on sex, race, national origin, or sexual orientation.
That's the craziest name I've ever read on a streaming platform in my entire life.
Wow, who would have thought, guys? You're telling me the world doesn't revolve around gender or race like I pretend it does online? You're telling me I can't play victim in a court of law? But that's my #1 strategy!
It's exactly the same whether you're from Florida or California or New York or whatever. You can be any sort of gender identity. It doesn't matter. The case is the same. It proceeds the same in court.
Dude, if I ever got sued, I'm transmaxing. That would be my strat.
And the other thing is the impact of the ruling itself. So let's pretend, let's hypothetically, which may happen, that Ethan wins. The impact of that legal precedent, the impact of a W for Ethan Klein affects everybody, regardless of their identity, sex, gender, race, whatever. And men are going to be very highly affected. In fact, perhaps most affected, men are still the majority of creators.
Oh my god, no way bro just said men are most affected. Caseytron about to smoke another 42 times after this. Prepare for 16 daily tweets
Your Honor, I'm gay.
calling you an incel. And honestly, what he said is just straight up factual. Most of the creators in the React space are men. So hypothetically, if Ethan wins this lawsuit, this might set a chilling precedent for all other reactors. And it may have more broad implications rather than just malicious.
Doesn't bother us here at Third Eye Global. We're gonna react harder. Nobody hits that spacebar more aggressively than we do.
Maliciously stealing content. So yeah, technically, men most affected, despite the 3 people being sued, all women. Then this next part, he talks about how Ethan might be using a strategy of suing people who are smaller to set a legal precedent because, you know, he's more likely to win that. And then he's gonna use that case to go after potentially bigger targets, not naming anybody, of course, but you know who we're talking about.
It seems apparent that the ultimate target may be Hasan Piker himself, right? Obviously, Ethan Klein did the content nuke on Hasan, was targeting Hasan.
I can't believe this guy knows the ins and outs of the slop tuber drama.
Based on how it proceeds, it could, possibly cause...
All you gotta do is not stare down the barrel of the camera and say, I am stealing this content. I feel like you could still do that if it's parody. But if you hit those other stipulations, you might be cooked.
A cause of action, meaning open up a lawsuit against Hasan. And winning against small creators is going to open up the door for larger creators. And not just Hasan. It's going to open up the door for many people to come against large
I never trust a lawyer or doctor with a YouTube channel. No comment.
creators. In fact, I have had my inbox full of creators asking if they can sue as well, which just tells me that they're opening up the door.
He pretty much got it spot on. It's gonna open up a lot more lawsuits and a lot more scumbags are gonna be held accountable. Now, could it hypothetically go too far and ruin like the React space? I mean, personally, I don't think so. If anything, it will help come up with new rules regarding it. Because right now it's really iffy and nobody knows what's right, what's okay to do. So maybe this snowballs into something like, you know, like a revenue split for people being reacted to or something more fair. Legal Mindset offers Tectone help in finding a lawyer against
Everyone's suing, bro. God.
Denims. Oh my god, if Tectone sues Denims, it would be absolute cinema.
F23 says Tectone said he wants to sue Denims for defamation but couldn't find lawyers to follow through. Why is that? He's not looking hard enough. If Techie wants help, I'll help Techie. If Techie wants to hit me up, Techie, DM me, bro. I'll
Sue someone?
find you a lawyer. We can get you a defamation lawyer. If Tectone needs help, Tectone, call me. Maybe.
Tectone responded, I think I got a pretty good one yesterday, but I DM'd him anyway since he was cool. Tectone is like the most clear-cut victim of defamation with obvious damages. Lawyers are probably messaging him on the daily, not to mention the recognition available for being the attorney for such a large...
Instead of suing, just box. LMAO saves a lot of money for real. Not many people. I mean, we don't even have ops. I mean, we're in our own cyberspace. That's like this protected walled garden. Nobody interacts with us. We just exist on our own. It's beautiful. The day the Fire Nation invades us with their soy laser beams, our incel army has to be at the ready. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Name is a huge advertisement for whatever legal firm takes us on. This is actually just a never-ending nightmare for Hasan orbiters, man. You gotta find a new galaxy, a new planet to orbit, because this one is coming crashing down, dog. And I think the main thing that Denims can probably be sued for is like calling Tectone a rapist or, you know, some similar.
Like, what are people gonna say about us? We're too handsome and funny? We're actually right and based and true and real? We encourage productivity in all areas of life, leveling up.
Version of that. Anyways, moving on to Ludwig getting exposed. Basically, if
I
you
teach people how to not be slugs.
didn't know, Mr. Jellyfish actually hosted an event called Mario Kart, and the whole concept was you get drunk
I've actually played this with my friends. It's pretty fun.
and you play Mario Kart. Only problem is he invited one of his
But, I don't know if I'm live streaming that event. It's a sacred ceremony.
good friends Mango, who is a known alcoholic and has a history of struggling with, drinking too much alcohol. So what did good guy Ludwig do? He encouraged him to drink and drink and drink and enabled his addiction, celebrated when he was at a blood alcohol level of 0.32.
You get a DUI or DWI at 0.08, which is equivalent to 4 drinks, I believe. Depends on your height, weight, obviously. 0.32? Is that not insane? I haven't drank in like a year and a half.
Now, in case you don't know how blood alcohol level works, here is a quick chart. A blood alcohol level of 0.08% or higher is considered legally intoxicated and is the threshold for drunk driving in many places. So 0 sober, 0.2 mildly altered mood, 0.05 impaired judgment, 0.08 intoxicated, 0.10 slurred, 0.15 and above.
Isn't this like 12 beers? Hold on, let me Google this. How many beers would I have to drink to get a blood alcohol content above 0.3 at 200 pounds? Dude. 10 to 14. I nailed it with 12 beers.
Severe impairment, including vomiting, loss of balance, and potential loss of consciousness. 0.30 and above, this is where Mango was at. High risk of alcohol poisoning, coma, and
But I'm a big boy. I'm a heavyweight. I just put 200 as like a... I don't know how much this guy weighs.
death. What a nice guy, Ludwig. What a good friend. So anyways, what ended up happening was Mango...
The lesson here is that all of these people could really use a nice shower, which is exactly why today's video is sponsored by Cheeky. So I do the plug.
Went around humping pillows and then people, and then he was like harassing a few girl streamers as well. It was really cringe. And
Just imagine the smell in here. This is why this one might be better. People always ask me, when are you gonna collab? First of all, I'm an elitist. Okay? You think I could stomach the stench of a bunch of NPC soy streamers sweating in a group setting? No shot. That's why I always stay strapped with the best soap in the world. Which is why today's video is sponsored by Cheeky. Guys, Cheeky is the best soap money can buy. In fact, every single bar is packed with moisturizing formulas including shea butter and jojoba oil. This way, every time you wash off that gamer gunk, you're left feeling silky soft and smooth. Most soaps have a bland and boring scent, but Cheeky packs a potent punch with fun fragrances designed to keep you feeling fresh all day long. This right here is Touch Grass, which many of you could probably use. But my favorite part about Cheeky is that they are 100% all natural. That's right, they make soap the old-fashioned way, through a cold process using only natural ingredients. There's no need for those harsh chemicals on your sensitive skin. Whether you're a gamer, a weeb, or terminally online, Cheeky is the soap for you. Cheeky's the soap with silly names but serious sense. Head to usecheeky.com/Philion for 10% off a starter pack that ships free to the US today. That's usecheeky.com/Philion for 10% off. And thank you to Cheeky for sponsoring this video.
after the whole situation was over and done with, Ludwig banned him from future events. He lost his 11-year org. He lost his career. Basically, life ruined. Meanwhile, Ludwig here got off scot-free. Now, apparently, Ludwig also responded as well, which we'll be checking out later.
I feel zero guilt. I don't feel guilty at all.
So here's Abba and Preach talking about it.
Beers and act the same he does off no beers. He's a machine of a
He
man.
said he had 7 beers already today.
If you ask him how many beers he's had lifetime, it's probably above 10,000.
Is this event enabling him?
He's the two-time champion. He's never lost.
We gotta do PB! Guys, Mango just blew a .25!
How's that a yay? So he's 3 times over the limit of what you're supposed to do to drive a car. And they're like, yay.
But he's driving a Mario Kart. Big difference.
Everybody, Mango just blew a .32!
Dude, this content must hit so fucking hard if you're a normie.
Okay.
No.
This
okay.
clip is super bad.
Mango is probably he's a problem because he has a problem. But you're definitely enabling him and encouraging him.
Severe BPD or whatever it is. Then I feed into their schizophrenia. And I tell them, and then they go and attack somebody.
I
Am I
trigger
not
them.
in any way?
Yeah. No, and by law, you would be subjected to some repercussions.
You know what they say, ain't no party like a Luddy party. Bro, what is happening? It's like the era where every single Hasan supporter is spontaneously combusting. Valkyrie actually being the voice of reason there, saying, isn't this event enabling him? And she was completely right there. It is absolutely enabling him. You are fueling your friend's addiction, encouraging him to get more and more drunk for the sake of the stream, for the sake of the entertainment, for the sake of the party goers who are cheering him on.
Acting like 16-year-olds at 30 plus, the soy. It's too much.
It's obviously not all there. It is up to you guys, his close friends, to actually help him out. Ludwig really looking at that situation and going, oh yeah, he's at
I want to see what he did though. Like, it's one thing to just get drunk, but what was this guy doing? I saw one clip, and it was, weird as fuck.
10,000 beers. Let him just drink. Let him drink himself to death. Who cares? I mean, I get views. And my only question is, what if instead of Mango doing some SA harassment, right? What if Mango necked himself? What if Mango died of alcohol poisoning? Because he was definitely at that point. I don't know how the law works, but possibly Ludwig would be held legally liable as the event host and as the guy who was cheering him on to drink while he actively has fatal levels of alcohol in his system.
I don't know about all that.
1.32!
To be clear, that is dangerous. That's not good. That's not good. That's dangerous.
Let's up those numbers!
You know, in the moment, he's encouraging it, having a vibe, but then when reality sets in, he's like, by golly, a drunk guy did something stupid. I gotta distance myself.
I need to see what he did.
Now, I see a lot of dialogue on, like, broader implications.
It's not Lud's responsibility. Mango's a grown-ass man. That's one wolf in my brain.
I'm only worried about my team,
Self.
Ludwig really like, let's up those numbers. You know, he might already have fatal levels of alcohol in his system, but we need more views. We need a...
I just don't know who's watching this. Chat, if I found out that some of you were in that chat, you're gonna have to do a lot of physical activity and record it, and it will be processed by the Council of Elders to see if you're even allowed back into Third Eye Global's ecosystem.
Use this clown for more attention on my event. And the thing is, Ludwig sort of had a general idea of what was going to happen here because he invited his alcoholic friend to the party to get even more drunk. Now, obviously, he could not have predicted something like him harassing a bunch of girls or anything like that, but what did you expect was gonna happen, honestly? And then Ludwig immediately tries to save his ass after the event, completely drops Mango, says, oh, you know, his behavior is unacceptable, you know, takes no accountability himself. And obviously, I'm not defending Mango. Obviously, what he did was horrible, and nobody should have to deal with that. But I'm just saying he was surrounded by some of the worst influences. And shout out to that guy who said it was, like, dangerous. Is that Doug? But yeah, apparently people were also saying that this Mango guy has a very good friendship with Ludwig, and people were saying that he apparently gave him a start to his career, like, way back in the day. This was like, Mango was like a pro Smash player, and Ludwig got his start in the Smash scene as well. So I don't know, it's just crazy to betray your friend like this. And I'm not talking about banning him from events, just encouraging your friend to drink so much when you know he has a problem. Here's what Papa Gut and Tectone were saying.
Who? Yo.
About it.
And, you know, I reached out to anyone who I felt might have felt uncomfortable and talked to them. But also, and I already told Mango this, I'm no longer inviting Mango to Mobile Moves events. You know, it's a privilege to go to an event, man. Like, the whole point of an event is, like, it's a fun thing to do, have a good time. And if somebody appearing jeopardizes somebody else having...
It's a privilege to go to my events.
A good time, that just can't be a thing.
Okay. I mean, like, what do I do with this? Thank God you brought a guy.
This guy's name is Papa Gut.
I encouraged him to drink insanely and then didn't do anything in the moment about him harassing streamers, but then came on and after there was backlash saying, oh, he's not invited anymore. Like, you're a loser.
Is that when you host a streamer party and you knowingly give absurd amounts of alcohol to known alcoholics, people who have issues, and when anything goes wrong, you say, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. This has nothing to do with me, and he's excommunicated.
Just a low IQ maneuver all around. Well, you might be in the belly of the beast now, bucko, if your idea of a fun night is getting pissed drunk with your boys and air humping other streamers. Holy buckets. Seek God.
Unit from everything. How about we stop worrying about self-preservation for 5 seconds And maybe we just do the right thing and we get this guy help. We tell him to put down the fucking bottle and we help him overcome his addiction rather than just say, yeah, let's ruin his life even more after one of his friends put him in a horrible situation.
I read about all this in the Soy Times, front cover news.
That he should have never been in to begin with.
And do you guys remember the clip where Hasan was glazing Ludwig just a little while back?
See, obviously, I condemn these actions because you wouldn't catch me anywhere near this event, nor this behavior is fucking gross and whatever. It's demonic to your boy. But it seems as if a lot of people are pontificating about, like, drinking in general. And obviously, I mean, I don't drink it. I've seen it destroy people's lives and stuff like that. But there's like this, I also have the self-awareness to realize that, like, I went to college and I've been around drunk people and it's like par for the course, like nothing ever good happens. But like they're like, alcohol is, you need to go to jail. It's like this, like, are you guys 12? Like, what's going on here?
This man is a fucking golden retriever. He is mathematically crafting takes that are the most kind, empathetic, and inoffensive you can possibly be.
Ah, yes. What a nice guy, Ludwig, of course. You know, encourages his friend to literally poison himself with alcohol. Here's a thought. If you have the Hasan seal of approval, you're probably not a good person. By the way, the full context of that clip was Hasan essentially calling Ludwig his good little dog, who basically obeys him at any opportunity, you know, will delete videos for him, will protect him from any criticism. Good little Ludwig dog.
Crazy. Is there any conversation about how, like,
this is what happens when you haven't been trapped under a barbell on flat bench? That's what I'm saying. These people are so sheltered. God, they're in their own cocoons of soy.
People like Ludwig and everybody else were encouraging him to drink?
No, nobody held this guy accountable at all. Nobody said, yeah, man, no, it's all Mango's fault.
Grown-ass fucking man, by the way. What are we talking about here? Hey, maybe don't be a fucking moron at my event. Maybe.
Oh, in what world?
Hey, dude, you're scaring the huzz.
Okay, I want to remind you of one of the biggest supervillain moments in all of anime. Are you guys familiar with Monster? Are you guys familiar?
I'm not. I don't watch anime. Anime is for, No, I won't say it. I'll save that for when I have more viewers.
Familiar with the antagonist, Johan, one of the biggest villains in anime history. Do we remember what happened when he gave alcohol to a known alcohol abuser?
Oh my god, that is a legendary comparison. So if you guys haven't watched Monster, obviously spoilers, but the main villain of the show is Johann Liebert. And he's basically...
All I'm saying is if you're watching cartoons with these generalized tropes of intimacy and, male role models, time and time again, you see some weird fucking allegations coming from this sphere.
This master manipulator psycho.
In fact, I think anime is virgin pilled. You might be a fucking virgin.
Path. And he basically spends all night like gaslighting this one guy, takes him up to a rooftop and gives him alcohol because he knows he has an alcohol problem and he's feeling really guilty about a certain situation. And this guy...
Oh, have you seen Attack on Titan? No, I think you'd love Attack on Titan, dude. There goes 50 more subscribers.
Ends up, you know, taking the drink and, you know, necking himself from the rooftop. And am I saying Ludwig is Johann Liebert? I don't think so, all right? I think, Johann is a little worse, but Ludwig can take the silver medal there.
I'm training to look like Guts.
All right, congratulations, Ludwig. You are not as bad as Johann Liebert. Jesus Christ, the fact that that comparison can even be made is insane.
He's celebrating.
Yeah, sorry. There goes 50 more virgins.
Putting the camera on him, cheering for him abusing more alcohol on camera. While this guy's smiling, thinking, oh, dude, great. Meanwhile, Mango's numbers are down. He's pretty much willing to do anything to make...
A grown-ass man will stare me in the face and be like, do you watch Cowboy Bebop? Yo, do you watch Cowboy Bebop, dude? Yeah, I'll get right on that.
numbers go up, and he's thinking, oh, so this is good content. This is what people want me to do. Wow, look at this.
Dude, have you seen all 9,000 episodes of One Piece? Do you remember in episode 3,647?
Yeah, let's give a cocaine addict more cocaine and cheer him on live on stream.
To be clear, that is dangerous. That's not good. That's not good.
And he's laughing, and he's smiling, and he's clapping. Well, now 2 of his other friends have warned him, why are we celebrating this? Why are we doing this? The guy could have died, guys. And I think it's a joke that we're not making the proper people be accountable here.
I mean, yeah, we definitely have to consider this could have gone very differently. I just hope Mango gets the help he needs and stops flipping drinking. And these streamers need to realize this is not a game. This is not all about entertainment and getting more views and growing your business.
Yes it is.
Sometimes you actually have to prioritize your friends and your relationships and care about people.
You want to know the based take right here? Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Ducks fly together, eagles fly alone.
But of course, Jellyfish Ludwig cannot understand that. He is absolutely spineless, does not—
I'm on that Dan Pena type shit. You think I have time and energy to be around somebody with a blood alcohol content of 0.32?
Actually care about the central issue at hand and just wants to be on the internet's good side at all times. So the second people went after Mango, he immediately dropped him, you know, condemned his behavior, you know, that part he should be doing, but he should also add an addendum there, you know, say that, hey, I really messed up that night. I really screwed up. I should not have invited this guy to the party. I knew he had problems. It was absolutely disgusting to encourage a guy to literally drink himself to death. We should have probably called 911 at that point, and when his blood alcohol level was like 0.32 or whatever.
Did bro even throw up? Or is he just face tanking all the beers? Everyone's saying he could have died, he could have went to the hospital, but like, I know he did some diabolical criminal shit, but like, did he ever pass out?
Take some level of accountability, man.
He seems not close to death, that's all I'm saying. He seems weirdly with it.
Now, apparently Ludwig made a whole response to this, and he literally says that he doesn't even feel guilty about the situation.
I feel zero guilt. I don't feel guilty at all. I think this is his own actions because he's his own man. He's an adult man. And me banning him, like, is the only thing that I did in response because I think it was the correct thing to do. I'm not gonna lie, I am surprised though.
I've got wasted hard a couple times in my life and I never threw up. Some people just don't. That's interesting. I feel like there's a limit. Eventually you just throw up 100% because you get like alcohol poisoning and shit. I've gotten pretty hammered a couple times. One time in college I was just teleporting around. That's when I knew I probably had too much to drink. I was at one bar and then I blinked really hard and I was at another one and then I blinked really hard and it was the next day.
I am surprised he got dropped from C9 because they've stuck with him through, I guess not necessarily worse moments, but like other dark moments in like fuck ups in his life. Because he's been with them for a decade. He's been with them for, I think he's the longest tenured esports player on C9. Yeah, 11 years. So that's crazy.
Okay, what the heck? You should absolutely feel guilty. You literally encouraged him to drink and cheered him on. You are not a good friend. You even got warned by Valkyrie and ignored it. You should absolutely feel guilty, and you are pretty much a horrible person for what you did. And the most insane part, this is gonna blow your mind.
Nothing worse than post-drinking anxiety. Yeah, if you want some real talk, that's what really kind of sobered me up. Made me lock in and clock in, bucko. I mean, holy buckets. I remember waking up in college multiple times in the bleak winter Bronx, New York. Granted, it was a beautiful campus. The harsh winter biting my nipples as I was one-shotted by the faint smell of cheap tequila. 4 p.m. waking up in a cold haze. I was like, I gotta get my life together. I can't be doing this. I gotta go film a fitness vlog in the campus gym. And that's what I did.
Apparently, Ludwig told a story of how his own dad died of alcoholism.
My dad had a serious problem with alcohol, and his rock bottom was death, you know, candidly. That's what
Well, so, I mean, what are we talking about here?
the rock bottom for him he never got the better of it. It got the better of him. And his life was like, he was 40s. He died at 44 years old, 43 years old, excuse me. Young. Right, I'm very close, you know, relatively to the
you
age
don't feel too bad.
that
It will
he
get
died
better
at.
less.
In y'all's opinion, what's worse for you in the long run, weed or alcohol? Well, alcohol will probably kill you, but weed will kill your spirit. Lesson in there.
And 3.
And you know, I've talked to Mango in the past. Like, I've asked him probably 4 times, 5 times point blank, are you an alcoholic? And every time he's like, no, I'm not. And has gone months without drinking. So like, I've taken him at face value. But like, clearly it's like a problem. And so this is his.
It seems like there was just an incentive to farm his shenanigans for content on the live stream event. And now people are being like, well, he actually has a problem. But if you want the Machiavellian angle here, it's probably the Ludwig take, where it's like, it's not my problem. He's a grown-ass man. I'm not saying that's the ethical thing to do. I'm just saying it's probably the dark triad thing to do.
Rock bottom. Hopefully it's his rock bottom.
Okay, let me get this straight. So your literal dad died from alcoholism at 43, which is obviously really sad and tragic. But here you are, learning absolutely nothing from that situation, inviting your alcoholic friend to a party to drink, encouraging him to keep drinking, celebrating.
Well, you said he wasn't an alcoholic.
Him at 0.32, saying we need to get those numbers up when he's already having fatal levels of alcohol in his blood. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. You should feel ashamed and you should apologize. I mean, what if
what do I expect from these people? I'm looking at this shit with binoculars, with rose-tinted soy blocker shades on.
Mango had the same fate as your dad. Would you feel guilty then? Fucking ridiculous situation. Holy shit, man. Anyways, Asmongold responded as well.
Instead of Ludwig blaming all of this on Mango, I think he should stop doing events with alcohol.
Alcohol is haram. Islam speaks of this.
If you want to be a squeaky clean advertiser, brand-friendly content creator.
I mean, that is like one option, but the other option is obviously just don't let it get out of hand and don't invite people who you know are a problem.
Yeah, but alcohol equals content, don't you get it?
I'm pretty sure like a while back, Ludwig's girlfriend also hosted like a similar party, and she didn't want to invite another known alcoholic, Minx. And eventually she did end up getting invited, and then she completely messed up the party and she got way too drunk, and then there was only like a couple people.
Sponsored by Chipotle. Isn't that crazy? How I had to hold down a fucking job as a freshman while I was not getting A's back then because I was in the belly of the beast. And chasing incredible strength numbers and establishing a YouTube channel that would grace the internet with its legendary status for years to come, just to afford double protein and guac on my bowls. And Chipotle's out here sponsoring all these people that have never been trapped under a barbell in their entire life. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. I'm gonna hold that to the grave. Where was Chipotle when I needed them most? God.
For stopping it and controlling the situation. I think S-Fan was telling her not to drink. But yeah, it turns out this is not even the first time a situation like this has happened.
All these people don't even look like they hit enough protein in a day. What are you talking about, Chipotle? Sponsor somebody. See, I haven't had Chipotle in like 6 years, but I'll start. I will start. I will eat a bowl every day if you sponsor me.
And I think the general culture around alcohol is very dangerous nowadays. Like, people don't realize that it is literally poison. It is not something to be cheered on. It is not something to be celebrated. If there's any alcoholics watching, this should be a wake-up call for you. Whatever reason you have for it, your life will be infinitely better without it.
You see, even I, who doesn't drink, can realize that that's gay and cope. Just because people can't handle themselves and fucking do deplorable shit. I mean, just the glass is pushing. Well, actually, it's nah.
You'll feel better.
So, some of the best fucking moments of my life have been cracking open a cold one and contemplating my life.
function better, make better decisions.
And wine was biblical. I mean, Jesus Christ of Nazareth himself, the baby born in Bethlehem to the Virgin Mary and Joseph, was drinking wine with the boys every night.
Body will thank you. It is such a bad vice. And please, for the love of God, surround yourself with people.
And everyone has a vice too, okay? Unless you're me, who's giga-cracked, right? Like, I don't know.
That care about you, that watch out for you. Not fake friends like Ludwig, who pretend to be your friend, but encourage your addictions to the extreme. Now click this video or I start tickling your toes and I don't stop for a week straight. I just know somebody's gonna be like, joke's on you, I actually like that. Okay, you freak. Alright, thanks for watching, bye-bye.
Alright, I gotta go rip a piss, dude. I gotta go rip a piss. I'm gonna go rip a fucking piss a doodle. BRB.